Hello to all my wonderful viewers of Mana TV International. I'm your host, Kalindi Bakshi. Today, we are going to broach on a subject which is of very vital importance, especially in this current world. In an era where junk food, fast food, unhealthy lifestyle, and sporadic diet is practiced, World Vegan Vision harbors a vision to be healthy, to be kind, to be vegan, and to be human. So let's deep dive into what World Vegan Vision's dream is all about. Today, our esteemed guest is a humanitarian, an advocate of veganism, a practicing physician in internal medicine, and a vegan of 20 plus years. And he's a firm believer and follower of whole food plant-based diet. He strongly recommends vegan lifestyle to prevent disease and lead a very healthy lifestyle. Let's welcome Dr. Shah, Dr. Shrenik Shah, to our show, Healthy Life the Vegan Way. Thank you, Dr. Shah, for coming into this show. So we would like to hear from you. What are you currently, and what have you been doing?
Veganism has been part of my life for, as you can see, I've been practicing 35 years, but more than half of it has, 20 plus years has gone into the vegan lifestyle, which I have kind of engrossed myself into it. And it has been basically revolving around me, and I have found benefit myself. And as for my patients, I always wanted what is best for my patients. And that's why I have been recommending vegan lifestyle, even in the times that even the vegan world was kind of being coined, kind of new, and nobody even knew about veganism that much, but I found the benefits and I've been doing it, and so I've really found tremendous results. And I'm really happy that I have been able to prevent and reduce the load of these diseases, which are horrific, becoming like a pandemic of these diseases in the world. So I'm very happy to be here to share my experience and impart some knowledge that I have gathered by this vegan lifestyle.
So, Dr. Shah, in your 35 plus years of practice, you've seen so many patients and you've come across so many number of diseases. What do you think, or what is the main health problem that you have come across time over time?
I'm a primary care physician, so all the patients come to me first. So I really diagnose their initial problems. So everything that comes to me is the root. And then whatever I diagnose, I send them to the cardiologist or pulmonologist and all that. As the primary care, I have to diagnose, but I firmly believe in preventing a disease rather than treating the disease. So I took it upon myself in the arena of the prevention rather than treatment. So what I have seen is the high cholesterol, diabetes, heart disease, and hypertension are the four most common diseases that I come across. Of course, cancer and all those things are also there. These are the four most common things that we see in our practice.
So as a practitioner, what, now that when a patient comes in and, you go through the profile and you see what the problems are, how do you advise them, and what is an approach that is different that you offer than any other practitioners? Can you talk about your unique approach?
Sure. As we go along, of course, we will have more series of lectures on different topics later on. Dr. Moise, Dr. Me, Dr. Zisan. So we have a plethora of nice speakers who are able to share their experiences and all that. But I'm going to concentrate for this particular talk mainly on the cholesterol, which has become a word famous really all over the world after it was diagnosed from a large study in Massachusetts that they found out that the cholesterol is the ultimate culprit for the heart disease. So then the whole share of burden that falls on me, how to reduce the cholesterol. So cholesterol, of course, there are plenty of medications available and all that. But even the drug representatives come and tell us that, yes, doctor, you should try the diet and exercise first. But they finish that sentence so fast that they realize that nobody's going to do it. And so then go on the medications. And I really tell patients that no, diet and exercise is really the number one thing I think you should do, so that you can avoid the medications in the first place.
Right.
So me being vegan myself and also into exercise, I have run 6 marathons and all that. So I firmly believe in diet and exercise. So I have coaxed and trained my patients little by little into this lifestyle with tremendous results. So cholesterol, I would say, is the main issue that we are all facing. And every time patients go for their physical checkups and all that, the first thing the doctor discusses, oh, you have high cholesterol. And cholesterol, as we know, is divided into good cholesterol and bad cholesterol. Good cholesterol reduces your heart disease risk, and the bad cholesterol increases your bad heart disease risk. So it's very primary importance to reduce your bad cholesterol, especially. So that's what I made a prime information that I wanted to share on this TV show, and which I have shared with so many patients of mine for 35 plus years. So cholesterol, I think, is the main thing. And we have found innovative ways and beautiful ways to prevent it from getting into the state that you require medication for it.
So we know from research and just hearing about cholesterol over and over again that we know it's bad for you. But can you give us some scientific knowledge, some scientific basis of why is it bad for us, and what actually does?
Before we go into that, I would like to share, and the number one question my whole life has revolved around is what is cholesterol? So cholesterol, I looked around and I could not find. Actually, a lot of my colleagues, I asked them, what is cholesterol? And they all said, yeah, it causes heart attack, it clogs your arteries and all that. I said, no, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for what is cholesterol. Nobody had an answer. Sadly speaking, we are, as a medical practitioner during the medical school, there is no separate teachings really on the nutrition. So the whole arena was totally new for me. And I kept on asking myself, what is cholesterol? If I had asked about 100 patients, so far I have only 2 kids who gave me the right answer. And they both were biology students. Actually, we studied biochemistry in the med school, but we probably, put it in option or whatever. I didn't know what was cholesterol until Dr. Google gave me the right answer. He says, what is cholesterol? This is, if the viewers can take only one slide out of the whole thing, this is the one piece of information. You can even challenge your own doctor and ask him, what is cholesterol? I bet a lot of doctors don't have that information.
Right.
So it's very important. And this question, to find this answer, opened up the whole plethora of benefits that came along. So I really appreciate this question that arose in my mind. What is cholesterol? So now Dr. Kukal says, cholesterol is an organic molecule. It is a sterol, a type of lipid molecule. It's a fat, and it is biosynthesized by all animal cells. Now mark the words, all animal cells, because it is an essential structural component of all the animal cell membranes. So I interpreted this into the broad aspect of where I was actually practicing. And my practice is where the rubber meets the road. And this is where I have to find the answers for my patients, which I could not find in the textbooks or nowhere else. So I utilized my thinking, and then ultimately I realized that every single animal cell is made out of cholesterol. The cell wall, all the cell walls of animal cells are made out of cholesterol. So what does that mean? What does it mean? That means that every time you drink milk or eat cheese, butter, yogurt, ghee, egg, or even fish oil, you are consuming cholesterol.
How?
So every animal is going to offer you cholesterol when you eat them. Whether you eat any meat, forget about the red meat, even the chicken and fish, or pork, or lamb, or goat, whatever. And if somebody is brave enough to eat snakes and lizards, they will have cholesterol. I tell my patients, if I draw your blood, you're going to have cholesterol, right? He says, yes. He said, if I draw the blood of any animal, there's going to be cholesterol there. So that was an eye opener for me. So I kept on searching more and more and more. And then, and you can Google it too, is every single animal food has variable amount of cholesterol. It's simple as that. But if I switch on the plant side, everything came out zero cholesterol. So that was like a watertight compartments between the animal kingdom and the plant kingdom. So that's when I realized why the cholesterol load is so high in our population, because in this people consume a lot of, in these days we are consuming billions and billions of animals every year, and all these animals are increasing our cholesterol load and nobody cares about it. So I said it's my duty to not only implement that in my life but also in my practice, which I do not see any difference. If I don't do what I preach, I would not preach, period. So that's how my whole journey started, with that one question. It's been a beautiful, beautiful journey, because it really made me realize the crux of the problem. And the crux of the problem is the animal kingdom. So that's when I kept on recommending more and more and more. So whatever you're eating, if that has a cholesterol, then it's only going to add more to your cholesterol, which is already made by your own body. Because we eat food, right? From the food is ultimately goes to the liver, and the liver manufactures the cholesterol. Fine. But body is smart enough manufacture cholesterol as much as it is needed. And why is it needed? To make our new cells. Remember, every cell wall is made out of cholesterol. So we have to realize cholesterol is extremely important for our body. It's not a molecule that you can hate. You hate only when you cannot reduce it without the medication. So that's when you get frustrated, right? But there is a simple solution available. So cholesterol is manufactured by your liver. From that cholesterol, we manufacture new cells, and we keep on making. That's how we age. We age, our age is defined by every day we keep on making new cells, keep on dropping the old cells. And that's how we get older until we reach 85, 90, 100, and we cannot make new cells anymore. We cannot make any more cholesterol anymore. We die. It's simple. The whole life cycle is revolving around cholesterol. So it's very important people understand that cholesterol is a molecule that you have to thank for. If I want to poison someone, if I give them a medication that will bring the cholesterol down to zero, that guy will die in a second because he cannot make new cells anymore. It's very vital molecule for us. But the only time it becomes a poison for us when we consume a lot of cholesterol. And the only source from outside food is the animals. So it's very important that we understand all these things. So if we can extrapolate that, all right, and then try to realize that if I want to keep my cholesterol down and do not consume the animal foods, what is happening on the other side? What is the other side of the coin? Other side of the coin is the plant-based diet. And what is plant-based diet? You tell me. I search further. The plant cells, cell walls are made out of cellulose. Cellulose is fiber, zero cholesterol. Whether you check cashews, almonds, even though people have a wrong belief that cashews are high in cholesterol, not true. But if you search on the animal side, every single thing has a cholesterol. And I kept on searching and searching and searching, and I came up with ridiculously surprising answers. And that was so bizarre. Okay, steak, for example, 149 milligrams of cholesterol, one steak. Understandable, it's meat, right? And then fish, which the industries, food industry has touted as one of the healthy thing to do. Half a fillet of salmon has 112 milligrams of cholesterol. And you think you're doing yourself a favor. So you think that fish is good for you, but it's not. It gives you tons of cholesterol. So as I kept on searching more and more and more, I realized, okay, one glass of milk gives you 24 milligrams of cholesterol. Okay, that may not sound so bad, but how about 1 cup of cheese? If you consume pizza, easily will have 1 cup of cheese, 256 milligrams of cholesterol. It's 10 times concentrated. 1 cup of cheese equal to 10 cups of whole milk. So on one hand, people take skim milk. On the other hand, they eat cheese. So that doesn't really make sense. So I started realizing even one egg, 187 milligrams of cholesterol in one egg. And who eats one egg?
So, Dr. Shah, is
Yes.
this all additive? Like, so you eat an egg for breakfast, you eat, fish for lunch, you eat some other animal products. So, is this additive, the effect of cholesterol?
It's dangerously additive. The thing
Right.
is that, let me tell you an example. One of my patient, uh, I explained to her because her cholesterol was very high, and I'm going to show her numbers. I told her that, yes, you should go on a plant-based diet because your cholesterol is so high. She says, okay, I'll change it. And she did. She came back 2 months later, her cholesterol was bottomed out, totally became normal. She was so happy. I said, let's check it one more time in 8 weeks. So she came back. This time, like hers was used to be LDL, it should be 99, used to be 178, came down to 98, right? I was very happy. She was
That's
very happy.
incredible.
So we checked again in 8 weeks, right? And I told her, let's check it. She came back 1 month before. So it came out 113. I said, what happened? How did it go up? No, I said, I'm still vegan. Found out that she had gone to a seafood restaurant with her friends in Florida one time, one meal, 4 weeks ago, and her cholesterol was still high.
Wow.
So that's a cholesterol. Whatever food we eat, we think we digest, get rid of it,
Right.
don't gain weight, we are okay. Not true. The
It shows
cholesterol,
up somewhere.
correct. The cholesterol that is extracted, it circulates in your blood for 6 weeks. I have done experiments on myself, on my patients, and I have realized that this is the sticky cholesterol circulating in your blood circulation for 8 weeks, 6 weeks rather. It clogs your arteries. And this is the reason why I've been telling patients to reduce or maybe stop the animal foods.
So that brings us to our next question, Dr. Shah.
Yes.
So what is the magic, or what is it about that plant-based diet that it helps reducing or dropping the cholesterol level? Can you please elaborate on that?
So, like we were saying, that all the foods which are animal side are high in cholesterol, but if you search on the plant side, every single food will have zero cholesterol. So the problem is that people don't understand there is a watertight compartment, as I said before. The cell walls are made out of cellulose, and cellulose is fiber. So there is a very beautiful mechanism how the fiber actually reduces your cholesterol, right?
Right.
So fiber is rough in gritty sensations. It is gritty. So as you eat the fiber, high fiber diet, it goes inside your intestines and it rubs against the inner lining. I'll show you the slide. This fiber, the slide is a little busy, but don't worry about that. But it rubs against the inner lining of your intestines. And remember, every cell in our body has a cell wall made out of cholesterol. So when you eat the fiber, the whole food plant-based diet is very high in fiber. This will rub against your inner lining. It will scrub out the dying cells and bring the healthy cells in the front, right? Because there are so many advantages. One, healthy cells can fight the cancer better because the old dying cells start developing what they call oncogenes, the genes which makes you more prone for cancers. So these are scrubbed off by the high fiber diet. That's one advantage. The second advantage is that the fiber works like a sponge and it holds on these cells. So when you move your bowels, it takes it out. Normally, the cells shed anyway. They go into the large intestine. The large intestine actually squeezes the cholesterol back because cholesterol is very important for our body. So our body is very efficient. But the fiber working like a sponge holds on to these cells. And that's why when you move your bowel, it takes them with you, with it. And all the cells are made out of cholesterol. So that's why if you look at it, Quaker Oats cereal box, they say we reduce cholesterol by 15%. They used to claim 15%. Lately, they have dropped the 15% because that percentages are depends upon how much your cholesterol is and all that. So fiber is a very, very powerful way of not just the reducing the cholesterol, but also reducing the risk of cancer. Also, it reduces the risk of diabetes, brings your blood sugar down, also gives you a lot of bulk in your stool, so you can have a good bowel movements. So there are plenty of advantages to the fiber. So that is the main magic about the plant-based diet.
So, Dr. Shah, now that you have explained that how cholesterol can harm and how fiber can fix, and basically how whole food plant-based diet can help, sort of reduce this problem. Now, more exciting part, we would like to see what in your practice, how you, the patient data. If you could share some patient data, which will help everybody else understand, how things can change.
I learned from my own study and all that, and my cholesterol was not, because I never ate meat, was never really that high. But for me to be convinced is not easy, because I do a lot of research before I put it in my practice. But for the patients to have a total faith in their doctor, and when the doctor says do it, and they do it, I call them trench soldiers. They just follow the commands. And I'm very proud to present the data of some of them. I have close to 150, 200 patients they have treated. But I'm going to give you some remarkable slides from some patients, and then I'll share it with you. Her ex was Italian. They just came back from Italy tour, and they ate everything, right? And she told me that my cholesterol runs very high. I said, but she had another doctor up in upstate New York. So I said, what does your doctor say? He says, well, he said that you should go on a medication, because otherwise this will give you a heart attack. So I said, did you have a second opinion? He says, yeah, I went to the endocrinologist, and he said the same thing. He said, you need to go on a medication, Marianne, otherwise you're gonna end up with a heart attack. So she asked me, so what do you think, doc? So I said, well, I'm not gonna answer your question. I'm not gonna answer your question, but I'm gonna ask you a question. And she was smiling at me, and because she had heard a little bit about me. So I asked her, if you try to catch something and it runs away, what would you do? If I ask 100 people these questions, 99 people say we will run after, right? But she didn't say that. She was smart. She said, I will let it go. Somehow she got the sense that animals have legs. They run away for their life. The plants don't run away. Plants don't get killed by plucking of a fruit. It doesn't die. But here we are killing an animal. So somehow she got the message that when you try to catch something, it runs away, you let it go. So these legs are very important. So somehow she got convinced. And she was a very hard-headed. She says, okay, doc, I'll do it. Look at total cholesterol, 270. And look at her LDL. Like we said, it's a sticky cholesterol. So the sticky cholesterol was 162, which should be 99. In 8 weeks, it came down to 162, almost 105 points. They may have some elevation of cholesterol, but no, this was very dramatic. So she texted me a few weeks later, Dhanyavad, Shukriya. She learned a few Hindi words. Thanks to your wisdom, my cholesterol dropped 105 points. So I was very happy. So Marianne did a wonderful job because in inspiring. So because I used her example for so many patients. So this was really great. I have another patient. This one was that lady we were talking about that who went to Florida had one bad meal. The first initial was amazing, 250 cholesterol. Bad cholesterol was 179, horrible. But in 8 weeks, look at that, LDL 98 and total cholesterol 183. And she even lost 12 pounds. The first one, Marianne, she had lost about 6 pounds. She was very skinny. Still, her cholesterol was high. She lost 6 pounds. So switching to whole food plant-based diet is very, very beneficial. And because you're really not adding any cholesterol. And I have one more data. White lady, 240 cholesterol and LDL 153. look at her numbers. She brought it down because she was very committed. She tried a few months here and there, but little by little, she got the groove. And because it's very difficult to change the habits, which I realized that, but it's very important too at the same time. So she was on whole food plant-based diet for 3 months and brought it down from 240 to 166, and the LDL dropped from 153 to 89. So these are some of the examples that I have shared with the viewers, and I would like to people to realize the importance of the whole food plant-based diet. They can bring beautiful results because it not only brings the cholesterol down, but also brings their weight down. And also, I had another patient, which I was short of time. We're not gonna share that, but he lost almost 64 pounds. And his cholesterol dropped, of course, but also he was diabetic with A1C of 7.4, which is the 3 month sugar. It came down to 5.4, which should be less than 5.6. So I have tremendous results. So I would be very happy that I was on Manas TV and to share this with the viewers. And we'll just starting this journey. And between the four of us, we will have a beautiful informations to share in the future.
Thank you very much, Dr. Shah, for sharing this wonderful, insightful information, something that everybody can learn and something that people can even practice in their life. So thank you once again for sharing your wonderful patient data, for sharing all the knowledge and spreading the World Vegan Vision's mission. Be healthy, be kind, be vegan, and be human. Thank you very much.